Good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to another healing journey produced by the Learning Journey and our Lessons Learned Incorporated. Good afternoon, or should I say good evening, Lee? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We had a great Black History Month, and I thank God for that. We learned a lot
We sure
about
did.
some of our greats in Black History Month. A lot of things that we didn't know. Our last show was about Meek Mill and how he started his organization and things of that nature. So, we learned so much in Black History Month, and I thank God for that.
Yes.
Again, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We operate on grants, we operate on donations. We do a lot of fundraisers. We have one coming up in July that we're doing with a co-sponsor, Hungry Lives Matter, and that's Kevin. That brother has been with us several times on our show. It's going to be at the Callahan Center, and what we're doing is a back to school balance. It's going to be with mental health professionals and getting you and your kids ready for back to school. We're going to have several things there, notebooks and pens and everything to try to help you gear up. We know prices are high and they have not come down. So we know what's said on the news, but we know how our wallet is when we go to the store.
Right.
So, we're not going to believe that hype, but what we're going to do is help your kids and keep everything in balance. So we call it backpack to balance. Balance this and that will balance the academics. And that's coming up. You'll hear more about it. We'll put it on the website. And we have some other things that as we go along in this year, we're going to be able to help you with. So we want to today talk about justice impacted individuals. And remember, this is a journey like none other. And I guess some of you may not be able to empathize with that until you have been on that road. It's a road that's not traveled. So when you're on that road, that's what we are here for. We help you, we support you, we give you resources, we educate you. And that is so important. There are so many resources out there that you don't know about. So from our lessons learned, that's what we do. So today, we have my sister, my mental health sister, Angie Stars, and she's also iHeartRadio. And we have her husband, Jonathan. And Jonathan is our justice impacted person that we're going to start the month of March off with. And welcome to both of you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having me and us.
Gotcha.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
We're so glad to have you here. So Jonathan and Angie, tell us about your story on this trail that is uncharted.
Let me start it off.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I was arrested, of course, for something that was basically I didn't do, and we went to a store. It was kind of late, but you figure it's around the corner from the house, and the guy, it was a Circle K store, so we go in there. The guy goes, charges my wife like $20 for a lighter, just so she could get some, what's that,
Cash back
cash
for our
back.
son. Yeah.
Yeah, so he could go to school the next morning, and so me and him started having words, because he kind of cursed at Angie and stuff to give
Mm.
to be fun anyway. So as a man, I'm gonna step up, and nothing physical, nothing crazy, just two men arguing now. Um, She grabs me. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I get out. We get out of there. 2 weeks later, two cops in the back of my house just waiting for me as I walk out the door, and they arrest me.
Wow.
So, and I was on my way to work. You know, um, End up getting charged with armed burglary with assault.
Armed burglary.
Yeah, armed burglary with assault, criminal mischief. Um, the guy had made a phone call, or his words were that I pulled out a gun and pointed it at him in his face in the store.
Wow.
I never even did that. No, possessed a firearm, none of that stuff. So it's like I didn't even do that. They went up for hearsay, right? The cop shows me a picture of me in the store. So you had that scene, the video, to get that picture of me in the store, right? So
Hmm.
you know I didn't have a gun.
Hmm.
Still took me in and charged me with those charges. You know, yeah. So it was a rough moment for me because I'm in my 40s now, 41, about to be 42. You go through something like that, and it's life changing. And I would never expect that. I would never expect that. I wasn't going outside looking for problems. You can have, I mean, it can happen to anybody, but the way the system works out here, they're very devious in
Hmm.
this situation. They don't care.
It's all about money.
It's all about money, and so I was arrested, um, was locked up over there for 54 days, uh, the longest 54 days ever. Um, so the first couple of weeks the first week was so hard for crying. I was crying. I was stressed out. I'm like, it was a punishable by life sentence. So they didn't give me no bail. I was facing up to 30 years. Like
It was scary.
It's
I
hard.
was about to cry because
It's okay. Take a moment. Angie, I want to ask you a question. Were you home when he was arrested?
Yes.
Okay. What were
Yeah.
you feeling in that moment?
Like I couldn't breathe.
Yes.
I couldn't believe what what was happening. It's different when you did something wrong,
Hmm.
you prepare
Hmm.
yourself for it, but when you do nothing and these people are coming at you like they're about to shoot you
Wow.
if you make a wrong move. I feared for my life, for my
Wow.
husband's life. I didn't know what to expect. They come at you like you're a criminal, like you committed a crime, like you killed someone or you did
yeah,
something illegal when you did nothing at all. And they come with the intention of, if you make the wrong move, I'm going to use this weapon.
yeah,
Wow.
And the way my husband was being treated in jail, him
Hmm.
and the other inmates, most of these people don't even know why they're there. And if they don't have funds for a lawyer,
Hmm. Hmm.
they will be sitting there not knowing for years whether they're wrongfully accused or whether they are there because of something they did.
Mhm.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, it
Scary.
was just so scary, and
So
I
you were traumatized. You were traumatized, and Jonathan, you were traumatized. That's the secondary, that just being traumatized by this whole situation. Did they have a video camera in the store? Okay, that showed that video the whole
With the
time you
weapon.
were in there.
yes,
yes. They had the video.
they had it from the start.
Yes, and they still they no they do an invest they did an investigation. They came 2 weeks later to get me, and you had to see the video.
Yes,
You saw that there was no weapon. You saw those things, but you went off of what the gentleman said, and you didn't care because you guys out here in Polk County, Sheriff, what is
Grady.
Grady, Sheriff Grady, the most corrupted. Listen, the things that man do, he's the sheriff out here.
Hmm.
He runs the jail is his,
He
and
owns the prison.
he owns the jail, and he runs the sheriffs. So what they're doing, it's all about a dollar.
Wow.
Lock them up, charge. When I was in there, right? Let's talk about that real quick, because when I was in there, they sent me to a maximum holding uh section over there, and it's set
Because of the charge.
because of the charges. Yes, um, they you was locked in 18 hours a day. So you come out for 2 hours in the morning, log back in, then come out for 2 hours, few hours later, log back in, and then
For 1 hour, babe.
no, 2 hours. It's 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and then 2 hours at night, and then you're locked into the next morning. And then in
Wow.
those 2 hours, you have to shower, you have to
Call your
call
family.
your family. Mind you, you're not the only one there. You got 50 other dudes in there. You're in a three-man cell. You know, um, they say you got to be tough in there.
Hmm.
It was,
The food is
the
terrible.
food is terrible, like real terrible. When I tell you terrible, they serve you bean soup day for lunch with a little bologna sandwich or something, or another little turkey chop sandwich. They give you oatmeal in the morning. But I'm talking about the portions are small. You go in there, 200 pounds, you're coming out 150.
Wow.
Wow.
I gained some more pounds because I came home eating, man. But I gained it back. But I came home, came out, and I lost some pounds in there, man. And I didn't want to tell Angie about none of that because I used to talk about I want to get some commissary, right? Mind you, to put commissary money difficult.
Make it very
They
hard.
make them to if your family don't have no money, you can't speak to them. If they don't know how to put everything to do all the access corrections, on all these other little apps and stuff, you don't know how to do that. There was trouble.
Mm.
There are people in there that was sitting in there for a long time, longer than I have been, and they didn't do nothing. They don't even know why they're still stuck in there. Stupid things.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
That
I just saw Angie about it. I'm like, yo, these guys are sitting here for nothing, a year waiting. Every time they go to court, they'll cancel their court and send them another day. So if you don't have a
That's
paid
right.
lawyer, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have someone that's fighting for you out there, if you don't have money to get a lawyer, you're just stuck.
oh,
There's no helping. There's no you could cry, scream, kick. Public defenders out here don't do nothing. They
Nothing.
they don't.
Nothing.
So it was like 30 days. 30 days I was there. The first 30 days it was rough because my wife, she was trying to come up with some money. I'm having her call my peoples to try to get some money, which is hard because you gotta humble yourself
oh yeah.
to do those things, right? And she was like, I'm not that type of person. I'm like, well, we got no choice because if not, I'm gonna be sitting here. And we had not arguments, we were just like the
You would
frustration.
get frustrated.
And then, all right, I'll call you later. You know what I mean? And I got to go back to dealing with what I see in there, and then she's dealing with what I'm going through while I'm in there. What she got to deal with out here, bills, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And through the grace of God, she was able to get up some money and got me a lawyer, and uh, she was so dope.
Yes, thank God to DWH
Yeah,
Law,
yes, got to shout
Davita
her out.
Williams. Listen, that woman came in and
Yes,
God used her and she saved my husband.
Oh,
yes,
wonderful,
yes, she,
wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
wonderful.
yeah,
If it wasn't for her, he would still be there.
yeah.
Wow.
She came
And,
in and
I'm
and the importance of a loving and supportive
family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Wife.
caregiver and
Yeah.
support system from family
I
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
friends.
insisted.
So
Yeah.
important.
It is. And that's something, you mentioned something there that people are sitting there because they don't have the money for bailout. Well, we assist with the bailout project. When they come to us in our organization, we refer them to organizations that can help. There's
Wow.
a bailout project that can
Mm-hmm.
bail people out that don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
And a lot of people don't know about these resources. There's also restorative justice. A lot of people don't know
Exactly.
about restorative justice practices that can avoid things of this nature. So this is why our organization is important, because we work with you, we support you, we educate you on what's
Mm-hmm.
out there, and we also advocate. So,
Wow.
we've been Lee and I have been through it
Help Angel.
with no answers, feeling helpless. We can identify and empathize with what
Yeah.
both of you went through. That's why our organization was started, because the pain that you feel, the trauma that you feel, and what you go through, we said, Lord, how can we help other people?
That's
So
Wow.
right.
God assigned this to us.
Mm-hmm.
Praise
Yes.
Wow,
God.
that's great.
He assigned it. This is something. That's something. So
Mm-hmm.
what's in the system now? Where do you go from here?
Well, it's kind of going through that part in anybody's life, especially out of Florida. Florida,
Yes.
anywhere down south, man, like it's so hard dealing with that situation, right? Just to get out of that is a battle, and it's a hard road to go down, man. And when you get out of that situation, whatever it is, whether you have to do time because they their laws are so strict
Hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
you go shoplift and they'll give you 3 years. Like that type of strong, hold to keep you there. And it's not fair to a lot of people. One mistake like that should not have to damage your whole life, right?
Yes.
So it's been hard because I in the past I've gotten in trouble. I'm not in New York City. I got in trouble. I did my time. I put that behind me. It's been years. Like I was a young boy.
Mhm.
So it's like I got two jobs. I had two jobs before I went in there. I was and I was we was about to buy a house. Like we was just looking at a house. Like and now I lost everything. I can't find a job. You know, my credit score went down. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't. The bills was backed up. You know, it's just it's still hard to today. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like the only way for me to survive out here to help Angie because you know that's what I got to do, right? And I sell food from home. You know, and I try to make my own thing going on because no one wants to hire me now. They
Mm.
let me go. I'm on probation now, which
He was still charged,
they still charged me.
even though they seen in the video that he
I didn't
didn't
do
have the
nothing.
weapon.
There's two men arguing. I still so yeah,
Yeah.
two men arguing. They still charge me with burglary of a structure, which is a lower class felony.
Mind you, we didn't steal anything.
It's just they saying that he told so his their story was oh he told you to leave and you didn't leave. When did that happen? But whatever, teachers only want to say that I can't beat that. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just keep arguing with them. So I gotta. It's either do I want to keep fighting this or do I want to just get home, right? But then they added the 3 years probation. And I'm like, what am I on probation for? It was just two men having an argument, man. You know, and they still charge me out here, and that damaged me. You know,
Wow.
it's the roughest. It's been rough. I still go through it mentally, emotionally.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
should tell you.
He can't sleep sometimes. He has
I
nightmares.
was having a nightmare this morning.
Wow.
I woke up right. I woke
Yeah,
yeah.
woke up having an asthma attack.
Like I was stuck in this dream of with cops and throwing smoke grenades. It was a horrible dream and um I couldn't breathe, but I knew consciously I was like get up, but something wouldn't let me get up, and I could feel myself in here. I was like something was just holding me in my dream, wouldn't let me get up on my bed to get the pump or something. But I knew I couldn't breathe. I was hearing myself wheezing, and it was going. I jumped out of my. I finally was able to get up, and she was up, and she's like, "Yo, you're right." And I'm like, I just started hitting the pump, and I'm like, I'm okay, you know, because I don't want to tell her,
Yes.
you know, but
Yeah.
I still go through these things, and it's been, you know, it's like a PTSD, man,
Let me
for
get
It
some.
people.
is. It is.
Yes. It is.
Exactly.
It's a PTSD thing. Like you don't have to be at war to have these things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when I'm driving outside, I see a cop. I'm like, you know, because
Yeah.
out here they don't play fair. All they gotta do is run my license plate and say, "Hey, he's on probation. Let me stop him." You know what I mean? Little things like that can mess you up, and it's scary. It's scary that you gotta walk on eggshells. You can't even, you know, you didn't do nothing wrong, but have a verbal disagreement with somebody, and you
And what
lose.
about the gentleman lying to the police about him having a weapon?
Right?
Is that not a crime?
His day is coming. I,
Yeah.
I, I,
It
Jonathan,
is.
don't give up on God because He's not
No,
going to give up on you.
absolutely not.
This is all a test. We go through so many tests, and I know you can't see it now, but God is going to show you how all things work together for good.
Yes.
Out of our pain births our purpose and some other things.
Yes.
So this is happening to you right now, and it's real hard for you and Angie to deal with this. But I'm gonna tell you, there's joy on the other side of this. We just can't see it. God don't want us to see it. Because see, if He showed you what was on the other side, you would miss all the things He has for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 years of probation. What does that mean? You're not on house arrest or anything like that, right? You have to
No,
check in.
no, they gave me so it's 3 years probation, but they gave me the lowest. So since there was nothing going on, they gave me like the lowest probation, which is like no restrictions. I don't have curfew.
No travel
I don't have no
restrictions.
travel restrictions. I just got to give my itinerary. I'm subject to drug testing, which it don't matter because I don't do none of that stuff anyway. Um, yeah, just check in once a month. I go to. They supposed to be putting me on to call in once a month, And if my color, but that's what if the color pops up, you gotta go and take a piss. That's if they decide to do it.
Right.
It was once a month, and that's pretty much it. I haven't had no issues, but it does hinder, your life, because you can't. You still gotta. I still have to
Report.
report and share what I'm gonna be doing with these people that it just it sucks.
Right.
So that's the
Right.
probation. You got other people that they have different levels of probation.
Yes.
I've seen worse, man. This kid, I went to probation actually the 23rd of this month. And as soon as I get there, this kid is like, "Yeah, hey, you know anywhere they hiring?" We start talking, whatever. And I'm like, "Well, I got to, are you on any restrictions?" That's the first question I asked him because over here, they're not letting you do nothing if you got restrictions. And he's like, "Yeah, I got an ankle monitor and I got curfew." I'm like, "Man,
How you
like,
gonna go to
how can you go to work?"
work?
He's like, I'm like, how do you, like, I had to ask him, how do you do it? And I just have to tell him to not give up. Don't give up. Keep searching. Someone will hire you. You know what I'm saying? Someone will understand. But I know in reality, I know how hard it is. But the kid was 22 years old, so I'm just trying to give him some hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's that's what people are going through with the probation.
Yes.
It's the
Definitely.
worst thing in the world, and then it's about money. They want
Yeah.
you. I gotta pay $30 a month plus these little taxes. I can like what's like $40 or $43 a month. Then I gotta pay court service fees, it's almost $2,000. But the lady gave me like 3 years to pay it. The duration of my probation. Um, so it's about this. It's about the dollar. And when we're arrested, we're incarcerated. They make a couple thousand a day, or thousand
They
dollars.
do.
Yeah, they
Let
make.
me ask you a question which I need some clarity on. Your attorney, if on the video there was no proof, no admission of proof there, how could they still charge you? What the just the hearsay, he said, she said, did that stand up? Was that in the discovery, or I'm just wondering how that, if there was no, factual information, and I know certain things you may not be able to talk about, but how could that stand up if the video showed you did not do that? Your attorney.
We can talk about it. We can talk about
Okay.
it. No, so one of the things, so it showed that I wasn't doing anything, right, which is
Right.
great, right? Um, the criminal mischief part that they still charged me with was because I was in a corporate location, right, arguing with an employee, with an
Okay.
employee. So that was just like that right there is they're gonna consider that criminal mischief for me.
Because we didn't walk out while arguing
So
with the man
yeah, so they think under
at
the
their table.
guidelines of the burglary of a structure, right? When you look it up, it kind of falls under there. It sounds crazy the way they mark it, which is not right because when an employer or somebody goes to look at that, all they see is burglary. They automatically think you're the worst in the world. But under those guidelines of the lowest class of the burglary of a structure, which they still charge them with a low class felony, which it shouldn't have even been a felony, but it's if the employee or the person that's working there tells you to leave and you don't leave, it's considered
Burglary.
burglary of a structure. It's stupid. I don't understand it.
Now I wanted my cash back, and I was trying to tell the gentleman, "This is your job. Calm down."
Yeah,
You can see me in the video, literally trying to de-escalate his anger because my husband was behind me. I'm at the register, and this man is even attempting to reach in his jacket as if he has a weapon.
yeah.
So if you can see all of this in the video, but he pointed at the door and we didn't quickly leave because I was waiting for my change. It's not that we didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
It's just we were trying to calm him down so that we can actually get the transaction done. But since we did not leave, in the moment where he said leave, he got charged with burglary. And the lawyer couldn't do nothing about that.
There's nothing you can really do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's still statutes and law you have to abide by, which I understand her as a lawyer. She could do but so much.
Yes.
No, she
Yeah.
did
She
the
got him
best.
released that
She
day.
got me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I thought I was going for bail. I was supposed to go for a bail hearing that day. So
They denied him bail, by the way.
yeah, I was supposed to go for a bail hearing, and um, He came back and was like, "You're going home today." Yo,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, that was
That was joy, wasn't
She
it?
did the best she could,
she
you
did,
know.
and
Yeah.
that's what the laws go for. Like you gotta really like I've done homework before. I've been through like I told you I've been through situations before, and I was facing 7 years in New York City, and
Wow.
minimum 7 years, and I was with Angie, and she'll tell you, man, I was right. I was doing my
He
own
fought tooth
homework.
and nail. Tooth and nail he fought.
We did our own motions.
Motions.
I didn't wait on. I had a public defender. Wasn't doing nothing. I couldn't afford a lawyer. I did. Listen. I had a gentleman that worked that's a friend of ours. He knows the law too, so he helped me. And I was fighting myself, and I got it down to 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
and when we talk about, so not to cut out, deter from what you're saying. So that's what the laws with that is. So me understanding there's statutes and there's things that you can't go around. That it's just what it is. I had to take it because I didn't want to leave her alone anymore with the kids. I don't want to sit in there. Nobody wants to sit, in, especially in Polk County Jail. Oh my, listen, do not come over here. Like, if
Yes.
you come over here, man, do not come over here. Don't drink and drive. Don't come out after dark. There's nothing going on after dark. You know what I'm saying? Stay with the family. Stay at the resorts. Just stay off the streets, man, because over here they don't play fair.
Mhm.
Wow. I'm so sorry that you two are going through that. I want to recommend Dr. Jackie Montgomery. And what she does, she works on expounding records. She also leads a trauma group, and that is going to help with those intrusive dreams and some of that stuff that you're going through, because trauma stores in the body.
Yeah.
And that's what happens at night. You're having some of that, something triggers that, and you're having those flashbacks and
Yeah,
panic attacks, more or less, from what you went through. um my heart goes out to you, but I just know that God is going to see you through this. It was a wake up call.
yes,
And I'm just, wow, you were just as impacted and are still being just as impacted for the next 3 years.
yes.
Yes.
It goes further than that.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
because now is you wait. I waited so long for my long time ago to get over with it, so they can't see it no more, right? Over
In New
10 years,
York.
I wait for stuff like that, and I was able to go get a job, and they can't deny you no more. Those are the things you
Hmm.
look for when you're a convicted felon. And then now it's like it's starting all over again in my 40s. Like
Yep.
that hurts more than anything. So it's like not just the 3 years. Even if I got early termination, which they said I'm available, I'm eligible to get that. It's like a year and a half. If I do, God bless. Um, but then you got to think about the next 7 years that they look back on.
Exactly.
In 4 or 5 more years, in 5 years, they're still gonna see what happened this year.
Yes.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it's like it goes further than what anybody thinks, man. And out here in the South of Florida, you can apply for jobs. You could go for a job and they see something on your record from 20 years ago and they're gonna say no. And that's the hard part, man. There's
Hmm.
no second chance. There's no second opportunity over here. There's nothing. That's why New York is one of the places that I love because we're originally from there. There they don't look at none of that stuff.
We were
Yeah.
thinking about moving back.
We was thinking about moving back, yeah, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a struggle. It's a
Yes.
struggle. Financially becomes a struggle. Mentally struggling.
Yes. Yes.
Emotionally struggling.
Yes.
And then we got the kids and everything like that, and it's pretty. You don't want them to see that. But that's hard to hide. It's hard to hide at times. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Lee and I understand what
I
both of you
certainly
are
do.
going through. We
Yeah,
empathize, we understand. And
Hmm.
when you were talking about that, I got chills because it triggered when I went through. So I'm empathic, and I could feel what you were going through because we've been there. And that's why this organization is so important to us, to help people and I'm going to make sure